Hi everyone, Kendra here, owner of Alo Goods and author of the Natural Soap Color Palette. Today we're going to paint some soaps. This is something I started doing quite a few years ago. These are my Dragonfly soaps that I made recently, and what we're going to do is add some color to the stamped area. So what I've just done is I've added some kaolin clay to a couple small containers, and there is some purple Brazilian clay, adding in some spirulina. And next we're going to use some indigo tea, so just indigo powder steeped in water overnight, adding that to color the clay. I'm using the clay kind of as a base for the pigments that I'm adding. With the indigo, you can go anywhere from just a light tint of blue, adding a little more until I get the color I want. I want these to be a little bit darker. I have done wash tests and washcloth tests with these. They really don't seem to stain any washcloths or leave any blue lather or anything like that, which can be common with misuse of indigo. And here with the dry pigments, I'm using some isopropyl alcohol to create my really wet slurry, I guess is what we'll call it. Which is what we'll paint on. I like using the isopropyl alcohol because it evaporates so quickly, so your clay and pigment dries and adheres to the soap quickly, so you can start on your next color if you don't want them to blend together. Again, this is the purple Brazilian clay, and we'll be adding some isopropyl alcohol to that. So you can see it's a fairly runny slurry that we'll be using for our paint. You can see I stamped these pretty deeply just to give a thicker impression, because there's two ways that you can do this. First, with soaps with a thicker impression on their stamp, you can literally just paint it on. So these will all dry out and just kind of stain the surface of the soap. Add some blue in here and just trying for kind of an iridescent dragonfly effect. I've done this many times before with this soap. Usually I use some activated charcoal and isopropyl alcohol in order to get a black color on the stamp. And another thing I should mention is, be aware of the contrast between the colors. So when I do the black dragonflies, I've done them on some carrot soaps and it has a real nice striking contrast. These are partial rebatch, so the base soap itself is pretty dark. Again, we're just painting the soaps here. And let me show you the other way you can do this. So if your stamp has finer recessed details or you can't fit your brush in them, here you can see I've already done the purple Brazilian clay on the bottom stem of the dragonfly. And I'm just going to dab and let the colorant drip into the channels. So this would be really good, again, for some of those finer details on some of the stamps I've seen some soapers using. And I'm just dabbing and letting it drip through. So I'll go ahead and do just one color at a time here, by the time I'm done with the last one, the first one will be dry and we can get on to the indigo. If your colorants seem to dry out as you're going, you can just give them another little spray of the alcohol. But remember, you do need to keep this pretty wet and fluid as you're going through. And if it seems to not want to go through that channel, just add a little more to your brush and give it another little dab. It'll start running. You can see I'm tilting the soap to help nudge that liquid colorant down through the channels. And there you go. Here are the freshly painted iridescent dragonflies on my rebatch soap with some really wet slurries dripped through them just to give them a nice personalized effect. And here they are after they've set up and dried for about 3 days. All right, there you go. Happy soaping, everyone. I look forward to seeing your painted soaps.